Will Jack Perry continue to shape the future through blood, sweat, and fire?
And will we get the answer to the question we've all been wondering? Who's gonna suckle on Tony Storm's teats?
And could the tag team of Daniel Garcia and Shibata defeat the Workhorsemen? All that and more on this week's episode of Grapple-Sauce. Hit it, Dave.
Hey there, Daver here. How y'all doing today?
Hey, not bad. This guy's Chad. Oh, that was an unfortunate rhyme.
And Chandler's back as well. I'm a little tired, but happy to be reviewing Collision. A pretty unremarkable Collision. There were a couple good matches, couple good promos, but lots of squash matches, unfortunately, which, it happens, but we'll see what pushes Shane Taylor Productions going to get.
Ooh, they picked up a win.
Yeah, they did. They better get something, man. They've been putting in the work. Gosh, almighty. But yeah, I'm gonna coin the phrase Rampagey. That's what I'm feeling on this episode. Squash matches, couple okay promos. Yeah, it didn't give me what I needed, what I thought I needed. Yeah. Basically, we haven't really reviewed a Collision in a minute, have we?
Yeah. Between pay-per-views and work schedules, it's been, 3-4 weeks?
Yeah, because 2 weeks ago at least, it was we did the predictions, and then it was the Double or Nothing. So it's at least been 2 weeks, if not more. So happy to be back. We started out strong with an FTR promo. Yay!
Yeah, top guys.
Out.
Hoorah, AEW.
I love
did you
Tony
catch
Khan.
Did you catch the fan repeatedly yelling boring?
That was my favorite
boring.
part. That was my favorite part of that whole segment. I didn't know if he was chanting boring. I just heard him going, boo! 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 And then he stopped to catch his breath for 30 seconds, and then be boo! So that was my favorite part of that whole segment, was that one guy. So shout out to that one guy for hijacking that promo, because it wasn't a good promo. It was fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You need a generic FTR promo? Top guys here.
Mm-hmm. Well, not. They're out because they're hurt from the Anarchy in the Arena match.
Yeah. The whole team is messed up, apparently. Yeah, we got Cash here saying it's hard to accept that they lost Anarchy in the Arena. We will die for AEW. And tells the Elite we aren't dead yet. Dax says the feeling of letting the fans down, his company down, made him not want to come out there. Is it worth it? You're goddamn right it is. Hoorah! Darby Allin will be back. Bryan Danielson will be back. And it will be the summer of AEW. And we will kick your ass. So generic.
I liked how Nigel was like, well, Crotch Chicken, summer's already started. We'll see how that goes. And then I actually did like the line where they were like, we had to see Darby Allin tied up, bloodied. We didn't like that. I liked that because it was one of the more striking visuals of the match.
Yeah.
That's about it.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty lackluster for me. Yeah, the guy yelling boring kind of nailed it on the head. But after that, we actually got a good promo.
And I agree. I really agree. This is a great Jack Perry promo.
He had emotion.
Didn't think he had it in him.
Yeah, emotion, grit. You could hear it in his voice, which he used to not do. Let's see. He says, people talk about blood, sweat, and tears like that's some kind of sacrifice. That's the bare minimum. True. Uh, he said he just got set on fire in the name of saving AEW. But when are the people going to realize that nobody believes in the spirit of AEW more than me? Even after this company turned its back on me, when this company left me for dead, but I continue to fight, I continue to sacrifice. And you can either hate me or you can come with me. But I'm going to continue to shape the future through blood, sweat, and fire. Hell yeah. Dude, that was poetry.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not much else to say. You kind of summed it all up, but it was pretty good
Cool.
promo.
I liked the shot it in the shower right after the pay-per-view. Like, it looked pretty badass. It was cool.
Really loved it. I'm I mean, I've been saying it for a couple weeks. I'm getting really into Jack Perry, and that really pushed me forward even more. I think I can say at this point they salvaged his career. I
Yeah,
thought it
and
was
this is just the
done.
beginning. This is just the beginning.
Yeah, I thought he was done ski after the Punk ordeal. It's like, man, where's he gonna go? He went to New Japan. All right, he's done with AEW. Nope.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think they turned him around. Good job, AEW. Uh, cool. Yeah, then we get a little recap of the TNT Elite segment where they try to give the belt to Jack Perry. Christopher Daniels comes out, announces he's the interim EVP. There's going to be a tournament leading up to a ladder match at Forbidden Door. Next up, we got Roderick Strong versus Leo Rush. Yes, good to know that Leo Rush and Tony Khan finally buried the hatchet over the controversial Big Swole comments. Anybody doesn't know about that, basically, Big Swole got released, and Tony Khan had to go and say, "Well, she wasn't really that good anyway." Because she was kind of putting the company down about not elevating uh, black talent. There weren't any black stars really being pushed. Uh, but man, I'm gonna have to say they really did the work on that, and we've got a African American world champion, so that's
Hmm.
great. Yeah,
Yeah.
Swerve is awesome. um, yeah, so Roderick Strong ends up beating Leo Rush down right away. Hard chop, suplex, gut buster, another hard chop. Uh, Taven puts Leo Rush's coat on at one point. I kind of like that spot. Leo Rush makes a comeback and topes Roddy twice. Roddy goes for or he gains control back during picture in picture with a backbreaker, which they showed when they came back from commercial. Matt Taven kicks Leo Rush on the floor while the ref isn't looking. Leo Rush gives Roddy a swinging DDT for a 2 count. Then Leo Rush counters the end of Heartache with a Tierras, then a stunner, covers for 2. Roderick Strong counters a frog splash from Leo Rush by putting his knees up and hitting the end of Heartache for the win. Never was I in doubt that Roderick was going to win, but again, really great to see Leo Rush. It was cool to see him live at Prestige Wrestling like a month and a half ago. That was cool. And it's good to see he's doing good work, whether it be in AEW, Prestige, or New Japan. Good to see him.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought this match was pretty fun. Nothing too spectacular. I wrote Leo Rush's evasion is second to none. I quite liked it. And then I liked the sequence where it was like the end of Heartache to the Uriken Rana, and then Leo Rush hit a springboard stunner, but he like sat on the rope to jump. I'd never seen that before, so I thought that was pretty good. So I wish Leo Rush won the match, but they're setting up Roderick Strong for Dynamite, so it makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah. That actually would have been way more funny if Leo Rush won and Roddy still gets his title shot.
Hmm.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, great match. After that, we get a Kyle O'Reilly promo who says he doesn't plan on just having a great match. He plans on beating Will Ospreay as efficiently and as violently as possible. And he refuses to leave Palm Springs empty-handed. Uh, the crowd was not into his promo until he name dropped the town they were in, and they're
Yeah.
right at the end.
Yeah.
So, uh, yeah, he can cut a okay promo. I mean, he doesn't suck on the mic at all.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I always loved him playing off Adam Cole in the Undisputed Era in NXT. I think when he's playing like second fiddle to somebody who he has great chemistry with, he's very good.
Yeah. Only thing I had written down was he said he's gonna fight the best wrestler on the planet, Will Ospreay, and I wait a minute, he's not wrestling Cody Rhodes. This doesn't make
Ooh,
sense. He's lying.
uh, speaking of Cody Rhodes, a little segue here. AJ pulled a fast one over on him, huh?
He did a Mark Henry, but that's okay. It's been like a decade since he did that, so it's a good spot anyways. Because AJ Styles was like, I think I should retire, and then he beat up Cody Rhodes. So AJ has 5 years left in him, but I thought it was a nice little spot.
They're just running back what pay-per-view Backlash or
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Backlash
How do you
Leon.
yeah, how do you feel about that? Like, couldn't they have got a new different opponent?
A lot of people are actually kind of wanting it, like want to see the rematch. A lot of people really like that match. I just never got around to watching Backlash, but I'm sure Cody Rhodes and AJ Styles, that's a good match no
yeah,
matter what. So, doing a little rematch with a little extra spice because even the like build to that match was not lackluster, but it was typical Cody build where it's based on respect. Like I'm gonna beat you, and even though AJ Styles just had this big old heel turn, he was pretty respectful too. Like I wrestled your father, and I think the world is flat, but I'm gonna beat you, Cody Rhodes, at Backlash Leon. So the fact that they're turning up the heel turn a little bit, probably for the better.
Holy
some
shit.
some wild speculation and rumors out there I've been paying attention to. Think we can get Armed Anderson as Cody's manager?
Maybe that man didn't renew his contract.
I think they'd bring Cody down.
Right? He does not need any help out there.
That's why Brandy hasn't. Brandy's only been with him at WrestleMania, and I think that's fine. Like, keep it to that because you keep pulling Brandy out, she'll start getting the heat that she got in AEW.
Absolutely. And super funny, AJ Styles totally wrestled Dusty Rhodes in TNA.
Mm-hmm. I think
Yep,
he's the only man, which I mean that makes sense because Cody's only had the championship for like 2 months, but he's the only man who's wrestled Dusty Rhodes for a world title and Cody Rhodes for a world title, which is a neat little fact.
Oh, that's
yeah,
cool.
that is cool. Um, so back to Collision after Roderick
I
Strong
guess.
beats Leo Rush. He's in the back and he yells, Tony, Tony. He finds first Christopher Daniels, and Daniels is like, uh, what do you want? What do you want? And then he like just pushes past him. He finds Tony. He says that he should have won the gauntlet match. He was the 10th entrant, but never got to.
No, he
Uh,
was 21. He was the
oh, he was
last one.
21.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. He was 21, and he never got to enter the match. And he deserves a title shot because of that. Uh, he tells Tony Khan that they're or Tony Khan he's just like him because they both overcame neck issues, and Tony Khan is neck strong. Love that.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, he demands a match against Swerve on Dynamite. Tony Khan says that's a great idea, and he books the match. Ugh. What do you think about this, Chandler?
I'm fine with it, honestly. It makes sense because it seems like Osprey's builds to pay-per-view matches is I'll fight someone and you fight someone. This exactly happened with Danielson because they both fought Shibata and the lead up. Like it's just kind of something they do, so I'm fine with it. I secretly was hoping for it last week because they only finished it at 9 people and there were supposed to be 21. I was hoping the last one would complain about it, and the fact that the last one was Roderick Strong was kind of perfect. And of course, this was a typical Tony Khan. You know what? That sounds like a great idea. We're gonna make it next week. It's gonna be Swerve versus Strong, and then the winner will go to Forbidden Door and fight Will Ospreay. So, typical Tony Khan, wide-eyed, bushy-tailed, yelling at the camera. He wasn't in Jacksonville. I don't know. I'm fine with it. How'd you feel, Chad?
I was sports entertained. It was out of left field. I was like, are they really do? Oh, this is weird. I kind of like it.
Yeah.
WWE, right?
Yeah.
A little bit, yeah.
But Tony Khan's such a weird cartoon character when he gets all hyped up, and I'm just like, I kind of don't like this, but I'm kind of really into this all at the same time.
Speaking of Tony Khan being a goddamn cartoon, did you see how he ran away from the Elite at Double or Nothing?
Yeah.
Oh my god, that was so funny. He's such a funny little guy.
Yeah. Just rolled down the ramp.
Yeah, and then he's like, his selling was good. I'll give him that, but it was just funny.
Yeah, I kind of like cartoon Tony. I'm like, part of me is just like, what is this? I'm like, it's kind of really funny though. I'm into it.
Yeah.
When he gets all worked up, I call it Bernie Sanders mode because he sounds exactly like fired up Bernie Sanders. Yeah, I'm okay with it. Like, the rankings don't matter again.
Oh, I completely forgot about the rankings. They haven't mattered
So
for
did
months. They haven't mattered for months.
That was just for Samoa Joe, I guess.
Yeah. Well, what killed it was Mercedes Moné because she was like, I'm going to fight for the title at Double or Nothing. And that was it.
Yep. But you're 0-0, so I guess you have a perfect record.
Oh man. And I like how they walked away and every member of the kingdom were just like saying, Tony's a genius. Good stuff. Cool. After that, we got a really great match that I really didn't think would be from the get-go. Daniel Garcia and Shibata versus the Workhorsemen, JD Drake and Anthony Henry. Man, I love JD Drake and Anthony Henry. Yeah, with them being at Prestige and we watched them live like 20 feet away from us. A lot of respect for them. JD Drake can do some things that a big man should not be able to do, which makes him super entertaining. Uh, I mean, we all love Garcia, all three of us. We all love Shibata. Yeah, good stuff. We got Daddy Magic on commentary, which I'm never going to complain. Speaking of that, did you hear Jericho has stepped down from his commentary duties on Rampage?
Oh.
I didn't even know he was a commentator on Rampage until he said he stepped down from it.
Yep, nor would I have known that either. But Daddy Magic has officially taken his place. So
nice.
Good for
yeah,
Daddy
I mean
Magic.
they're grooming him to be a commentator. Like it's clear to me now. Like he's gonna be a commentator for AEW for many, many years to come. So
Wait, do we finally have something positive from Jericho's run lately? Is he pushing someone? Boom!
yeah.
No way.
I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, good match. Shibata starts out, does a PK kick, and I love this. Daddy Magic's like, a penalty kick? I like soccer. And Nigel's like, it's football. Uh, JD Drake kicks Shibata, and it looks like he hurt his foot or his knee. That had me a little worried. The doctor checks on him. Garcia takes some really hard chops from JD Drake a little later on. He no sells them. He does his little dance in the ring. JD Drake does a top rope moonsault onto Garcia. The crowd lost its mind, as did I. We got a really nice holy shit chant out of that. That made him the MVP of the match for me. Shibata and Garcia both get a rear naked choke on Shibata on Henry, Garcia on Drake. They escape, but Shibata does another PK kick on JD Drake, and Garcia pins him for the win. Yeah, I hopefully we're gonna see a lot of Garcia in 2024, huh, Chandler?
You know what? He was in a really good match on Collision, so I'm not going to complain right now. But I actually really liked this match. I would even, you know how I keep planning ways to get Garcia to win a title. I would not hate if Garcia and Shibata took the tag team titles off the Bucks. I know that's a long stretch.
Ooh.
I know that's a really long stretch, but I think that would be pretty good. So it's just, it satisfies me of them winning a title. It's even Shibata too. I love Shibata. I want more for him, and I think it'd be a real good like workhorse couple champions. And then I really liked their matching ring gear. I thought that was a great touch. I liked how Shibata was like going for chops and was super serious, and Garcia was still doing the funny dance. I wrote down that he looked really motivated in this. Like, he hasn't been on TV for a while, so I really like that he's using his time while he can. I know they're setting up an Osprey match. I kind of have a theory, just a little theory. What if Osprey and Garcia are going to be at Forbidden Door? So that way, Osprey's got to work twice. And that way, right? I think there's two ways you could go here, right? And I think one of them is more likely than the other. But Osprey's going to win a match and lose a match. What I would want is Osprey. I don't know if I'd want this, but what would be better, I guess, would be Osprey losing to Garcia, so that it's like, oh no, it's like Bret Hart losing to Owen Hart at WrestleMania 10. So you're like, oh no, Osprey lose, he sucks, and then he goes on and he beats Swerve. I don't think that's a horrible idea, but what's more likely going to happen is he's going to beat Garcia and then lose to Swerve, and it's going to go, well, it makes sense. He wrestled twice, and then that'll set up the all-in match. Like, well, bro, I wrestled twice, so if I don't wrestle twice, I'll beat you.
Yep, I like the latter, honestly.
Yeah, I'm into it. Yeah, I always love it when they do that with wrestlers. Well, maybe except for MJF when he killed the Righteous, I think, was it?
Well, that was also for like, he was wrestling tag teams by himself. Osprey beating Garcia, I can stomach that because they're pushing Osprey to the moon, right? Yeah. Like, that makes sense. Osprey beating one guy. Osprey's not going out there and beating Shane Taylor Productions on his own, right?
Actually, he could.
Right. Well, you're not wrong.
Yeah, and elevate Garcia, make him look really great in that match. I think that could work.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, JD Drake MVP of that match for me. After that, we get a Stokely Hathaway, Chris Statlander promo. Stokely says he read the letters and listened to their peers and owe Willow an apology, and they got her a gift, something that reminds them of her. It's a basket of garbage. Statlander says she's going to destroy anyone who gets in her way next week. I'm pretty excited for her first heel match. Do you think it'll be a squash, a no name, or what? Robin Renegade.
Robin Renegade, Lady Frost. I really liked. I liked how he went. Tell them about next week, and Statlander just went, "How about I warn them?" I thought that was a really cool line.
Yeah. I feel like she's getting into this character because, for me, like, face Stat's always been like entertaining but kind of a little flat, and now all of a sudden I'm like, oh, I'm kind of really interested in her now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. After that, pretty quick, pointless match. Really wasn't into it. Thunder Rosa versus Reina Dorada. Pretty popular independent luchadora. I did like the fact that she was a chick wearing a mask, which isn't the most flattering thing in my mind. Every time I see a masked female wrestler, kind of turns me off a little bit. But yeah, am I right here? Did this girl kick out of a Tijuana bomb? Was that an
Yeah.
accident? I think she botched it. I don't think she was supposed to kick out.
I don't know. Commentary was like, "Holy crap, she kicked out of a Tijuana bomb." Maybe she
Yeah.
went into business for herself where she was like, it's a squash match, but I'll kick out.
It seemed like Thunder Rosa was like flustered and like, I just gotta get her in a submission, I guess. Like it did
Mhm.
not seem like that was the plan to me.
Yeah.
But yeah, really quick. Yeah, kicked out of a Tijuana bomb. Then Rosa got a submission on her, and then she got in the camera and called out Deonna Purrazzo. They're still feuding. Got to get a little redemption from that pre-show match of Double or Nothing. Yeah, Deonna definitely cheated. She like used the rope to pin
Mhm.
Thunder Rosa. Ref didn't see it, so I'm
That would
glad
be a
they're
good Dynamite match.
yeah
Yeah.
yeah yeah, glad they're keeping that going. Yeah, then we get another squash match, a little bit better of a squash match, I will say, a little more entertaining. Uh, Cage of Agony, Toa Leona, Bishop Khan, and Brian Cage versus I call them small, medium, and large jobbers. Uh, Toa
Yeah, like
Leona
one of those
takes
Russian eggs.
Mhm.
Russian dolls. Loved it. Toa Leona takes out the small and the medium. Cage takes out the large jobber. He does his amazing deadlift suplex into the ring. Love that move. Khan destroys the small jobber. Leona, Khan, and Cage throw the small jobber up in the air like the when you're a kid and you do the parachute thing with your classmates.
Mhm.
Dude, he went up high, but then he landed on his legs, which I don't think was probably the best thing to do.
Adam
Um,
Copeland will tell you why you shouldn't land on your legs from a high place.
that was the first thing I thought when he landed, like, oh, Adam Copeland. Uh, man, these guys looked familiar, the small guys. Did we see them at Prestige, Chad?
Ooh, I don't remember.
They looked super familiar. Anyway, uh, but yeah, they Bishop Khan covers for the win after that throwing the little guy up, and that was that. Pretty quick textbook win. But yeah, it was a little more fun, a little more violent, which
Yeah.
yeah, uh, squash match nonetheless. But after that, we got some fun stuff. We got a Tony Storm promo. She says, Saraya, how dare you mock the child that nourishes at my teeth? Uh, she says, bosom. And Mariah May comes out of nowhere, clanks her head on the belt on her bosom. And Mariah May says she watched the movie about Soraya's life and wonders why they cut out her downfall. Ooh. She says, let's do a sequel called Shitstorm. I'll let you figure out which one's you. And Tony says her forbidden door is wide open. Uh, she says, chin, tits, shoe. And Mariah, let's go to the bars. Then they cut to Nigel.
No, they cut to him already like halfway off the desk. Like
Yeah.
he had headset off, he was gone, and Tony had to go. No, 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 no. That was last night. That was recorded last night, and he was like, "Oh, my bad."
Yeah,
Uh,
dude, love it. Yep. They he took the comedy of Tony Storm and just went with it and made it even funnier. So gotta give him kudos. Yeah, good stuff. Great promo. Uh yeah, apparently it was a mistake that match got announced. It wasn't pulled or
Oh, that's funny.
bumped. Like someone some wires got crossed and it was not supposed to be announced,
Hmm.
is what they're claiming. So yeah, hopefully Saraya isn't as mad about that.
We'll
Uh,
see.
yeah. So yeah, I'm actually looking forward to it. To be honest, should be a really great match. I really enjoyed watching Saraya as of late. She seems a little more mobile and uh, little better than she was when she first arrived at AEW. So I mean, she hadn't wrestled for 7 years. So
Hmm.
yeah, she looks a little better now. Looking forward to it. After that, another match that I actually enjoyed quite a bit. Uh, Even though the ref should have did his job a little better. Claudio versus Johnny TV with Taya Valkyrie. Man, she looks great. Like she has clearly put in the work uh, of her physique because she looks a little slimmer than she did when she first debuted. Uh, Johnny TV gets a backbreaker from Claudio. Then Claudio gives Johnny TV a double stomp for a 2 count. Then a really long delayed vertical suplex. Talking really long. It was like 30, 40 seconds. Claudio goes for a giant swing, but Taya grabs Johnny TV's leg, then distracts the ref. Johnny TV gave Claudio a low blow. Claudio uppercuts Johnny over and over and over. Then Johnny TV counters a giant swing into a pinning predicament. Taya stops Claudio from doing another giant swing. Claudio confronts Taya on the outside, and Johnny TV does a tornado on Claudio from the ring, which was pretty nice. Uh, didn't look as smooth as it probably could have, but he pulled it off. Taya interferes again, and Johnny tries to low blow Claudio again, but Claudio gets him in the giant swing finally and lariats him for the win. Yeah, I thought this was fun. The ref should have ejected her, yeah, but I thought it was really entertaining. Her role that she plays now, she's a much better manager to me than a wrestler.
Yeah.
Uh, Sorry to say. I mean, she can wrestle. She's good, but yeah, this is really fun for me to watch.
Yeah. My favorite wrestling memory of her was her and Drexel at Prestige. Actually, that was nuts. Chandler got to see Drexel and Mira in a similar death match. That was pretty intense.
Hmm.
Yep,
Yeah,
I'll never
that one.
forget. He pulls out a portrait. Will you sign this? Sign it, Frankie Monet.
Yeah. Then she ends up stapling it to his head later.
That's funny. I
Yeah.
You undersold that low blow that Johnny TV hit because essentially Claudio had him in a power bomb and then Claudio hopped him, like leapfrogged him, and as he was going down, he swung his leg up and low blowed Claudio. It was super slick. And then as I was annoyed by the ref, I thought it was a really fun thing where Claudio had Johnny in the sharpshooter and Taya snuck in and not snuck in. It was blatant. And she was like pulling him towards the ring. And Claudio's just like, whatever. And he started pulling them both back into the middle of the ring. I thought that was a good spot. But again, the ref was just like, oh man, I don't know what to do. Oh, well. So I was just annoyed by that. But it was a really good match regardless.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. The character work was great. I love Claudio just kind of like, I don't know, I'm just gonna do what I'm gonna do. It's
Yeah.
and yeah, I can't believe Johnny TV, Johnny Morrison, like all these years later, I still love watching that guy wrestle. I do kind of miss the slow-mo entrance though.
Mhm.
Yeah,
So do
I
you
thought it
brought
was
back the Brood? Bring it back.
Right?
uh yeah, I'm actually trying to see when the last time John Morrison and Cesaro had a match. Uh I was kind of curious. I should have looked that up before we started, but oh, I don't know. I can't find it. Anyway, curious about that. Or if
Mhm.
they ever did, they had to have. There's no way they didn't have a match, right? In WWE.
They did not, as far as
Hmm.
I can tell.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. I'm seeing WWE 2K22, if that tells you anything.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Good to know that, people who worked in that company can show up somewhere else and finally face each other. That's kind of neat.
They
Uh,
did team up with each other once because it was the
ooh.
New Day and Lucha House Party versus The Miz, John Morrison, Shinsuke Nakamura, and Cesaro. By the way, they mentioned Shinsuke Nakamura during the Daniel Garcia and Shibata match on commentary. Like, I can't remember who they said, but they were like, Shibata, someone, and Nakamura were the original Three Musketeers. And I was like, Nakamura? Why does that sound? It's the WWE guy. Obviously, I know he's not for WWE, but I was just like, weird. I've never it's just weird hearing them reference him.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't pick up on that. Cool. Um, let's see. So after that match, we got a Premier Athletes video package. I guess they're gonna start maybe getting them out of Ring of Honor, putting them back on Dynamite and Collision, Rampage maybe, Josh Woods, Tony Nese, and Ari Davari. Uh, yeah, I mean I enjoy their work. Josh Woods is like used to be like an MMA guy. Tony Nese is really great heel. He's a really good heel. And they're managed by Mark Sterling. I like him too. Uh, Weird to think that he used to be Jade Cargill's manager.
Right?
Yeah, pretty weird. But then we got another little video package highlighting uh, the West Coast Wrecking Crew from New Japan. Showed some pretty cool footage of them real quick and a little backstory because they were facing Lee Moriarty and Shane Taylor next up. I appreciate that they lined that up and like you're not like, who the hell is this? So yeah, really appreciate that. But yeah, Lee Moriarty and Shane Taylor versus West Coast Wrecking Crew. One is Nelson, the other is Isaacs. Uh, so let's see. I'm going to call him the WCWC. Isolate Lee Moriarty with multiple near falls. Shane Taylor tags in and changes the whole pace of the match. He chops Isaacs. Nelson can't take Shane Taylor down, even though he tries and tries. Shane Taylor punches Nelson mid dive, then gives him a pile driver for the win. Anthony Agogo knocks out Isaacs, and yeah, Shane Taylor Promotions got a nice win. They earned it and they deserved it.
Yeah, it was cool. It was nice to see him get some shine. They've been doing a lot of jobs, but especially as a tag team, man, they are a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah,
Yeah, I was surprised it wasn't like a triple threat because I didn't know much about the or 6-man tag. I didn't know much about the West Coast Wrecking Crew, but it was nice to see him win. That's about it.
yeah. They're I like how Shane Taylor and Lee Moriarty complement each other's styles. It really works. I think they're a great little faction. Want to see way more of them. Yeah, I don't know what kind of titles they should get or will get, but yeah, give them some
Yeah,
shine.
I
Ring
liked
of
after.
Honor tag team titles.
Yeah, yeah, I
Yeah,
liked after the after Shane Taylor's big knockout, then the Go just comes in, is like
Hmm.
takes out the partner too.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
cool. We're at the main event here. International title match. Will Ospreay defending against Kyle O'Reilly. Uh, Got a bunch of mat wrestling to start. They're real cautious, slower pace. Things start to pick up. Osprey crossbodies O'Reilly from the outside to the floor. O'Reilly does a really nice leg sweep combo to Osprey, taking him down. Then he uh, proceeds to exploit Osprey's hurt shoulder. O'Reilly traps Osprey's arm, then drives his body down on the apron, kind of similar to what Takeshita did to Moxley during their match. Man, that move always like I feel like that can go wrong
All right.
Yeah.
like real easily. So I always cringe when I see that move. O'Reilly sets Osprey or gets Osprey in an armbar, but he's able to get to the ropes. Kyle O'Reilly takes the fight to the floor. He drop kicks Osprey while Osprey's sitting in a chair. Will Osprey comes back and counters a guillotine choke into a vertical suplex, then a normal tiger driver. Uh, but he couldn't get the win because he couldn't cover properly with that hurt arm. Kyle O'Reilly counters an Oz cutter into another armbar, then transitions into a triangle sleeper. Osprey escapes by picking up O'Reilly with one arm and power bombing him. I really like that show of strength. Will Osprey hits a hidden blade out of nowhere. He goes for another, but O'Reilly knees Osprey in the jaw. But Osprey ends up winning with a hidden blade, then a Stormbreaker. I, is it true that Kyle O'Reilly's the only one who's ever kicked out of a hidden blade? They were kind of saying, right?
No, I'm sure he's one of the few people in AEW to kick out of it. I don't think he's one of the only ones. I'm pretty sure Kenny Omega kicked out of it.
Yeah.
I don't know for sure. I can't remember, but I thought
Yeah.
this was an excellent match. The only thing I didn't like was every single time Osprey went for a Stormbreaker, Tony Schiavone went, "Oh, he's going for the Tiger Driver," and it's like, no, I think he uses the Stormbreaker more than the Tiger Driver. So I don't know what you're doing there, Chief. But other than that, a fantastic match. I liked that Lund scenic sequence where Osprey went for the Os Cutter and Kyle O'Reilly met him with the knee, and then they were basically Kyle O'Reilly swept Osprey and he jumped back up and did a Pele kick. I thought that was a really excellent sequence.
That was incredible how seamless that was.
Mm-hmm. And then there was a bit where Osprey was selling his elbow a little bit, or selling a Kyle O'Reilly like big elbow, but he still got back up. He had a big stunner, and then Kyle O'Reilly, I almost said Kylie O'Reilly. Kyle O'Reilly went for, I just call it the wacky line because that's what it was when Dean Ambrose did it. Went for a wacky line, and then Osprey countered that with a hidden blade. Basically, I thought that was a really excellent sequence. Like, I think this is Will Ospreay's best TV match since joining AEW. And I do specify TV because I think that the Takeshita and Danielson matches were better, obviously. But I don't think he's had a better one yet. And it was a really good first defense of his title win.
Yeah, I'm a huge Kyle fan. Everything that he does just feels legit. Like that when he took that kick to the arm and he was selling arm, Osprey was. I thought that was legit for a second. I was like, oh man, that looked like it sucked. So, but yeah, big fan. Honestly, the match was kind of bigger than the show. Kind of felt out of place. I'm like, this is excellent. I could watch this on a pay-per-view and have been satisfied.
Mm-hmm.
And what was it like? Maybe just a little over 1,000 people at the arena. It was kind of felt out of place. It could have definitely had a much higher profile.
Yeah,
for sure. I did enjoy after the match. They shook hands, showed respect, sportsmanship. I was a little worried though. I thought O'Reilly was going to turn heel. I'm like,
I'm
oh
glad
no.
he didn't. Nah,
I'm glad
yeah,
he
he
didn't.
needs to stay a face.
And then join the kingdom.
Yep, that's what I thought was going to happen. I'm glad it didn't. Yeah, really enjoyed the match. It did feel a little out of place. It was a great main event though for the show. Yeah, finally we get a Swerve promo. He talks about, well, he congratulates Will Ospreay for winning the gauntlet match. He says, this Forbidden Door will be Swerve's first time on the main card. I did not know that. In 2022, 2023, he was on the kickoff show. He won both of those matches. And he says him and Will Ospreay complement each other well, which I'm gonna agree with that. Yeah, Will Ospreay was on the main card of 2 Forbidden Doors already, but he's never main evented a pay-per-view for AEW. So yeah, I think it's really cool how they how he weaved that in there.
Yeah.
Um, then he kind of puts over Roderick Strong a little bit, but he says just because he beat Leo Rush, that doesn't mean you can win the AEW World Championship. And yeah, that was kind of the gist of that. And that concluded Collision for the week. Yeah, like I said before, it wasn't the best Collision. Hopefully, they are gonna do something about it. Like I feel it needed the Young Bucks, Okada, like a Danielson, which is hurt, but yeah, there needed to be one more like big star
Yeah.
factor.
Yeah.
Uh, would have
Someone
really
big to
helped.
open the show, because I mean FTR opened the show, but like in a match, because Roderick Strong probably isn't the right choice to open the show and be the big star of it. Nothing against him, I like him, but might not have been the best choice. But it was
They should have done the MJF Roosh on Collision.
woof. That's intense. He's coming back on Dynamite though, and we're getting Swerve versus Strong, and then Brian May and Saraya. So it should be a
Ooh.
good Dynamite. But yeah, I think the Osprey match really saved it. Of course, I liked the Garcia Shibata match, but they're kind of in that position where they could wrestle brooms, and I would still enjoy it. Nothing against the Workhorsemen; they were excellent in that match too. JD Drink delivered, and then a couple good promos, and that was it.
Yeah, nothing to write home about. Yeah, let's do a couple more collisions. If they don't get better, we should maybe instead of doing a full review of Collision, just run down the results and maybe we can do some more retro views.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I'm pulling for Collision to get way better, so don't get me wrong. I don't want to have to do that, but yeah, it just didn't captivate me like Dynamite does. Dynamite, I'm on the edge of my seat. I'm hooting and hollering and popping, and things happen on Dynamite.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that's definitely part of it. Is I don't know if they're leery to do too much big storyline stuff because it's not the A show. So, but yeah, they definitely need to progress some storylines, make it more captivating. Because yeah, the show typically does not pass the phone test for me. I kind of keep zoning out and like, oh, hey, this is something worth watching.
Yeah,
So
it
yeah,
took me
hopefully
two
they
two
turn it around.
sittings to get through it and get my notes properly done.
Aw.
So
Mm-hmm.
I was just like, all right, I'm gonna watch a little Star Trek. I took a break.
Palate
Yeah,
cleanser.
I'm trying to get into Star Trek Discovery,
Ooh, I hear that's
which
pretty good.
it just ended. That was the first Star Trek show back on television since Enterprise in like 2007. Uh, yeah, that came out and it really didn't do it for me that much, but the Picard show was freaking amazing. Strange New Worlds is good. But yeah, I'm gonna go back and try to plow through that. So yeah, I'm a big
Cool.
Trekkie. I like wrestling and Star Trek. Ooh.
Ooh, you can like more than one thing. Weird.
Nuh-uh.
No, you can't, because this is all a bunch of wrestling figures and books behind me, right?
Right. Cool. Yeah. Yeah, good show. Good good review today, gentlemen. Um Everyone out there, don't forget to
Ooh.
elbow drop that like button, power bomb that subscribe button, and leave a comment. uh, I was watching another channel and some mother fudger said something along the lines of power bombing that like button.
Stealing
So
us. We're
I was
copyright
like,
claiming them. DMCA inbound.
I was like, hey there, buddy.
Whoa, doesn't work for me, brother.
Doesn't work for me, brother. Cool, yeah. We're also on the audio realm, is what Chad told me.
Yeah. We take these videos and pull out the audio and throw them up there on like Apple, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Amazon, Podbean, basically anywhere where all major audio podcasts are found. So if you want to check us out on your commute or maybe fall asleep to our dulcet tones, then that's definitely a different way to consume us. That sounds weird. I don't encourage cannibalism.
We're not big enough to have ads yet, so you won't get interrupted with them when you sleep. So
Yeah.
enjoy it while it lasts.
Yeah. Would you say we do a premium audio extraction?
Oh yeah.
It's
Is
up
what
there.
happens when we do our audio stuff.
Yeah. Very little
Um,
compression, very high quality.
Chad when he's in the editing booth goes audio enhance and he turns up a notch and it enhances it. So
Yeah.
to 11.
exactly.
It goes up to 11.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Spinal Tap. Hell yeah, cool. Yeah, this is a pretty quick one. Maybe people will be more inclined to click on it. Like,
Right?
we did get a pretty great comment a while back. They missed Chandler and said we're chill. So
Yeah.
I'll take all that.
Thank you, loyal subscriber, and thank you to all of our loyal subscribers.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are people watching. Feels good. Yeah, we all love doing this. We all love wrestling. It's
Hell
in
yeah.
our blood, courses through our veins. About to
Yes.
go into an
That and
Ultimate
the
Warrior
adrenaline that
promo.
runs through our soul.
Mhm.
Yeah, I want to go into an Ultimate Warrior promo about it, but I won't.
Yeah.
From the heavens above, the wrestling. No, I
Yeah.
won't.
He's not done enough cocaine yet today for a
Yeah, not yet. Cool. Well, yeah, I think that just about does it. We'll be coming back at you with our Dynamite review. And yeah, well, we're gonna have some other fun content coming through the pipeline. Work is pretty crazy, so these reviews are kind of what we've been doing here for a minute. But yeah, we're gonna get back in the swing of things, and yeah, I'm looking back. People are kind of watching some of our old stuff too, which is neat.
Yeah.
Looks like the algorithm is pushing a few things, so that's neat. My old face paint top 5 is almost
Right?
hit like 10,000 views. So
Wow, that's really good.
I'll take that. Yeah, that's our top video. People are coming back around to my belt brawl video too, and
Uh-huh.
we're getting comments on them and new people watching them. So yeah, we worked pretty hard on that. And then Chad's blood feuds videos are starting to gain traction. Yep, 2-parter.
Yeah, I was pretty happy with that, especially part 2. Part 2 was long, but I thought it was really entertaining. Oh,
yeah, it was
Moxley
good.
doesn't think so.
Heard.
That's right. I named my dog Moxley.
Yeah, why not? I had a dog named Nitro,
Hell yeah.
Ooh.
and I wanted to have another one named Thunder, but I abandoned that. Cool. Yeah, I think that just about does it. Thank you very much, Chad and Chandler.
Thank you, Dave.
Thank you.
Yeah, and yeah, don't forget to again like, subscribe, comment, share too is something we should say. However that
Sharing is
works.
caring.
Yeah, it is. But yeah, thank you very much, and we'll catch you next time. I'm gonna do the thing now.
Ooh.
Bye.
Peace.
Bye bye.